intro video part 4. This will be our last one. So we covered plagiarism. Now I'm going to back up here and go to our home page again. And we're going to look at the front of the page. Remember, your announcements are here. That's important to read. Then you have these 5 weeks worth of work. Now, the first thing you want to do, though, you have to complete items. Now, I'm going to go into Student View again. And it's going to ask you to mark these done. I did already mark them done. So I'm going to start with the first one is going to be a statement of professionalism. I'm going to unmark it. So this is what it'll look like to you. You're going to read through this, and it's what it's asking you to do to be in an online course, how you're going to interact and get things done, and 2 to 3 hours on 3 different days of the week. Now, this is for a regular 16-week course. You're going to want to triple that, okay? So it's going to be 5 to 6 hours a day, okay? Or even 6 to 9, depending on your reading. Student Code of Conduct is here. You can click on that, and it'll go to the Bakersfield Student Code of Conduct. Okay? All right, so I'm going to mark that as done, and then I'm going to get to my next one, and then I'm also going to want to look at the syllabus. Now, the syllabus is actually over here, but I'm going to click on this link. It's embedded now, so I put it in that list so you look at it, but it's embedded also on the left underneath people. Okay, so this is a PDF. You can download that if you wish, and you can print it out if that's helpful to you. There's a schedule at the bottom. There's information here, my email, and so on. A lot of stuff we've already covered. My office hours. We're going to have Confer Zooms Tuesdays at 11. But I didn't put Tuesdays yet because so far we're only going to do the one at that, I would assume you're looking at this Monday, the 1st of June, so tomorrow, I'm going to say it that way. But we'll see how that works, and if there's a better time, maybe we'll get some feedback from the other instructors and see what works better. Student learning outcomes, this is what we're trying to get you guys to understand this semester. Course description and the book that you need. I think you already have that. Week 2 is going to be the Wanguchi Mutu collage, and there's a link here that's going to show you what other students have done. Okay, so the stained glass and mosaic, I don't have the link there, but there's one in the assignment. That is pretty simple. Colored pencils, any leftover paint. You don't have to go crazy and buy a ton of stuff. You mostly want to make sure you have some kind of magazines or images that you can use for the Mutu collage. And I know it's kind of hard to go and get things. That's not really what I want you to do. There's also an option to use fabric. But if you don't have any magazines, you can try the fabric idea, and there's some other things in that assignment. So you're going to be able to check into Canvas. If you're a night owl and you stay up late, you can get on late. It's never closed, okay? But you want to make sure you're doing the reading in the book, whether you have the real book or ebook, either way. And then also look at the PowerPoints and look over the due dates. The attendance, that is once a week we have due dates. It's Thursday at 11 p.m. It's always going to be that, okay? If you have no activity for 5 days in this course, usually it's 10 for a regular semester. But if you check out for 5 days, I'm just going to tell you right now, you probably won't be able to pass, even if you thought you'll just catch up later. You need to work in this class every day, Monday through Friday, okay? A bunch of technical information here. So if you have some challenges for online learning, there's this link here. What does your computer need? And so on, browsers, different things. So I'm not tech support. I am pretty tech savvy, but I don't have enough, there's just not enough hours in the day if I walked every student through their technical issues. So you need to use some other resources, okay? So document and image formatting, make sure you're using a JPEG and make sure you have word processing software. Google Docs is okay. I have had some issues in the past of that uploading. PDF works also. It says no Google Docs. I'm going to let you try it and let me know how that works, because sometimes it does not work. No Pages, that's a different different app. Okay, so you're going to need a laptop or desktop for this course. You cannot use a phone. Now, I'm pretty strict usually about Wi-Fi issues, that kind of stuff, um, electrical outages, but we're really in a different place in time here in the summer of 2020. I would say when you get an error message, do a screenshot of your screen, and or tell me what if you called them on the phone, tell me what they said to you, or forward an email from your provider like Spectrum or Xfinity or whatever you have. Okay? So the due dates, the final is listed here. You're going to need that for the syllabus quiz. Different things to help support you. I don't want you to not feel supported. There's a lot of other resources, and I know students get focused on the instructor, and that's the only resource point they have at school, but college is not like that. If you really do college properly, if you use it for all it's worth, you're going to find out about all the different things that the college has to offer. And that's one thing right there. This Habits of Mind website is really great. Over here, too, if you go to help, there's more here than there used to be, because there's some COVID-19 resources. And then also, we're Bakersfield. These other two, don't use them. We're Bakersfield even though we're online. Okay, so there's problems, that kind of thing. But if you have any other issues that are not to do with necessarily learning or technical or the class, if you're having any situations where you're in an abusive situation, you can reach out to me or the other instructors that are facilitating this course. But please do let us know what's going on. It's a different environment. Everybody's a bit more pressured and stressed than usual. And things I've had at the end of spring semester, I had some students reach out to me. So please do let me know. I know I might seem far away and maybe intimidating, but I absolutely care, and I want to hear from you if something's going on. Okay? I will probably direct you to the right person for the most part, because I am not local. But I do want you to reach out. Down here, there's verbiage about DSPS. If you have an IEP, I need to know about that and what you need as an accommodation, okay? And let me know by the 11th. We talked a lot about this already, so I'm not going to go over this. We talked about plagiarism. We talked about using respectful language. Same thing with your replies in your posts and discussions. And if you're emailing other students through the course, you need to be polite. And if you feel uncomfortable, if a student is emailing you in an uncomfortable way, pressuring you to share work or something like that, you can let me know. Okay, so we are going to look at nudity, just so you know. So there's some adult content. This book in particular, I tried to get us to change after last year, has a whole chapter on sexuality and reproduction. And she's a more political author than some, so it's going to be a bit edgy. All right, so you're warned now. This is our points breakdown. You have 250 for the midterm, 250 for the final. Part of that is multiple choice, part of that is essay. Okay? You have another 500 points for the rest of the work in the class, including art projects. There's extra credit for a gallery report. There's other extra credit also. I haven't cleaned that up at this point, but there will be some other things, and mostly that's due in the 4th week, okay, June 25th. Not the last minute. You can't do a Hail Mary and try to fix this course on the last day. That just doesn't happen that way. 20 points extra credit that you have already. If you don't have it, that's because you added late. But you have 20 points, and that is just a gift to you in case you miss a quiz. If you decide to reopen 4 assignments, then you spend that 20 points. So 4 assignments could even total up to 80 points or something like that. You can't use it for the midterm or the final, though. Okay, look at this in extra credit, which will be clearer to you at another point in time. Okay, so 1,000 points for the course, so that makes it easy for you to know where you are, especially toward the end. So you'll have 895 points. That's going to be an A. okay? It says 900 down here, 90%, but I give you guys 5 points leeway. I don't give you 15. I don't give you 20. Don't beg me for a better grade right at the end. I don't care for that kind of interaction. If there was an error in something I graded, we should have resolved it before the last week of the course. So down here there are grade challenges. Now this isn't the same as the final grade. This has to do with each assignment. If there's something that doesn't make sense to you, you got a 0 out of 50 and you know you submitted it and it had some good content in there. A lot of glitchy things that happen on Canvas, it's very possible that was an error on my part or something happened on Canvas. Okay, so email me politely, absolutely politely, okay? Explain to me, say, you know, could you take a look at it? I feel like this doesn't look right to me. I did submit the work. Okay? So what you mainly want to do, if you know you submitted it and you got like a 10 out of 50 or a 20 out of 50 and you're frustrated, don't get emotional. That's the worst thing you can do. Just try to clinically take a step back, look at the work that you did, look at the book, look at the question, see if you answered it right, look at my comments, okay? And then take my comments from that. Remember how I showed you how to get there in grades in the previous video? Get into there and cut and paste my comments and also the prompts. That means questions. So what were the questions? I asked you about abstraction versus representationalism, and maybe you did a whole biographical essay on Picasso and didn't talk to me at all about abstraction. Okay? Make sure you're following the prompts. That's really important. Okay, email me. You have a week to do that after I grade it. Not after the due date. Sometimes it takes me 2, 3, 4 days to grade everything. I try to go as fast as I can, but this course, all the midterms are going to kind of stack up with all 3 courses I'm teaching. Okay, so down here is the schedule. This is a little bit wonky at the moment, but if we go all the way at the bottom, this is generated by Canvas, and this is another way to look at the calendar. Okay. So back to the front again, and the things that you need to, it says complete all items. See how there's a circle there and there's a red circle there. That means that you did not look at that yet. So you have to mark that as done. I think you have to go in there and mark it as done. If I go back here, that red circle should be gone. So all of them are completed now, and there's a lot of stuff to look at. Now I can go all the way down here and I can go into the first week and I can submit the syllabus quiz. So then you'll go in here. These are my quiz scores. There's 2 attempts allowed and there's no time limit. That's going to be different for the midterm and the final. There's one attempt. That means you don't have a second chance, and there's a time limit. But for the quizzes, you have 2 attempts and no time limit. Okay? So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go to the next, which was our discussion. And it's locked. See how it says locked? I'm not allowed to let you do the work before the class starts. So at 1 a.m. Monday morning, that will open. Then you'll get into the audio videos, same as what you're watching right now. That's my voice over the PowerPoint. Some of these are not as good as they should be, but that's up to you. If you want to watch these, this is optional. It's just that if some concepts are not clear to you, and I tend to talk about the things that are on the test in more detail, so that's one thing you can look at. The PowerPoint, and these are broken down into parts because the file sizes are so large. This is 31 megs right here. Remember, we downloaded this one, so you can look at that there. I think this one's in 3 parts or 2 parts. Chapter 1 quiz, and then you'll see this is worth 10 points. There are 8 questions. There's no time limit. It's due June 4th, and you're allowed 2 attempts. Okay, so I'm going to back out here, and I think I'm going to leave student view. Give it a second. And that is week 1 right here. That's that module, okay? See all that stuff? The things that are graded are going to have due dates right there. If you have any questions about what's due, you can always go back to the calendar. week 2, and so on. All right, but that's a pretty typical situation where we have the heading here for chapter 1, then we have the PowerPoint with the audio, just like you're doing now. Regular PowerPoint, no audio, you don't have to listen to my voice. And then you have a quiz, okay? Sometimes you have other work. So this one with chapter 2 homework, you have color theory, and it's going to give you a choice. Because we're in my view, so I can see it. Then it gives you the essay guidelines, and then it tells you how to write for this course. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this course. I know that's a lot of information. You don't need all of this immediately, but go back to these videos, and if there's something that you ask me in an email and you say, I don't understand what netiquette is, I'm going to say go back to the video because that's where it is. Okay? All right. Have a great class. Do really well.